Hi everybody, and welcome to my blog, Cars and Stuff with Steve. Here is some of the market research and other things that I compiled before I started to make my blog, Cars and Stuff with Steve. So the first question that I asked myself is, why cars? And basically what it boiled down to is cars are special to me. They always have been. They run deep in my family, and that's how my family made their living for a long time. So I've grown up around cars. I've been around them for basically my whole life, and I wanted to help other people appreciate cars the way that I do. Another thing is cars are one of the most expensive investments that we make. That most people spend a lot of money on cars and they want their cars to last. And most drivers on the road, they know a little more about their car as far as maintenance goes than just putting gasoline in them. And I want to help people in that regard. I want to help people learn how to buy a car smartly. That a lot of people, they're scared of the car dealer, that they don't want to get ripped off, they don't want to buy a lemon, that I want to help people to gain that confidence on how to buy a car, how much they should pay, where they can look, what kind of tools and other options that they have. And lastly, I want to give people the courage to fix their own car so that they can have that courage to save some money and do some simple repairs on their own car instead of having to take it to a shop and pay money for it. So some of the competitors that we have in this area are obviously, there's some big names here. The Car Talk is a really big blog. It's a podcast. It has almost 600,000 Facebook followers, 45,000 followers on Twitter, and 6,000 followers on Instagram. Car and Driver is a huge one. I subscribe to Car and Driver and I love it. I repost a lot of their blogs and read a lot of their blogs and a lot of the stories that they do. They're huge. They have almost 2.3 million likes on Facebook, 1 million followers on Twitter, and 200,000 followers on Instagram. And Motor Trend is another one of those big giants. That Motor Trend has 3 million Facebook followers, 700,000 followers on Twitter, and 835,000 followers on Instagram. That these are some of the big ones. And it just goes to show that if you can have 1 million followers following a page that's talking about cars and doing reviews about cars and stuff, that people will listen to you if you know what you're talking about with cars. That mine's obviously not going to be that big. That Cars and Stuff with Steve can't even hold a candle to a lot of what this is, but I do still think it's important to help people to know what their car is and how their car works. That the market that we have, the market for cars is huge. That people are spending an average of $700 a month in maintenance on their cars. In most cases, that's more than a car payment that people are spending just to keep their car operational on the road. There's roughly 22 million registered drivers in America, and the average car in America is 10 years old. So that just shows that people are keeping their cars longer than they ever have, and people need to know how to maintain their cars so that their cars can last as long as they possibly can to get that return on their investment. The average American commutes at least 15 miles every day to work. That adds up. 15 miles adds up. It puts wear, it puts tear on your vehicle, and there's nothing you can do to counteract driving there. And the average car price is $15,000 to $20,000. I mean, obviously you can get prices of cars for cheaper than that, but that is a good middle of the road car that will be able to survive until you pay it off, a car that won't be in the shop every weekend. So that's a lot of money that people are spending on cars and on, how to fix their cars and things like that. So there's a huge market for this type of blog. And my target marketing and my positioning is, I know that I say that everyone from the knowledgeable car person to someone just wanting to learn more, and that's true, but my main niche where I want to stay is the person that just needs a little bit of help, the college student like me that needs to make a trip home to mom and dad for Christmas and they don't know if their car can make it, so they can look at their car and do a little bit of maintenance on themselves. I want to give them the courage to be able to do their own brake jobs, the courage to be able to change their own oil, the courage to do these things and to save themselves some money. I want to, help them so that they can get this done without having to drive a car that's not dangerous before they can afford to take it to a shop, and help them to learn something along the way. So those are some of the targets and some of the markets that have really helped me to choose this blog. I think that there's a lot to this blog, and I think that I could have a lot of success in this blog. And then next we will go to my actual blog and we'll explore that a little bit.